To West Africa now, authorities in the Gambia have foiled a military coup attempt and arrested 4 soldiers plotting to overthrow President Adama Barrow's administration. The government on Wednesday says the Armed Forces High Command arrested 4 soldiers linked to the alleged coup after a military operation. Coup attempts are not uncommon in the Gambia. The West African country of 2.5 million is still reeling from over 2 decades under former President Jammeh, marked by authoritarianism and alleged abuses. Jammeh seized power in a coup in 1994 and foiled several attempts to overthrow him before he lost an election in late 2016 to Barrow. Well, to discuss this, I'm joined by Njie, a political science lecturer at the University of the Gambia, and Akintayo Adetokunbo-Edmund, a communications and rebranding expert. Gentlemen, thanks for your time. Let's start with you, Njie. A failed coup recorded today in a country where coups are not uncommon. Now, what's your immediate reaction to that?
Certainly, coups are not uncommon, especially in West Africa. I think West Africa has recently become the home of military coups. This is also due to the fragile security situations in the sub-region, but also the fragile democracy that we have built, especially in the Gambia. And of course, when you look at coups, they happen for various reasons. And, one of them, we call this typology of coups. Veto coups are staged when the military feel like their interest is not being protected due to certain socio-political changes. But also guardian coups take place when the military feel like they have a moral duty or responsibility to kind of rescue the civilian population from an inept and corrupt government. And of course, in the case of the Gambia, we will take these probably to be the contributing factors. We know that there's breakthrough coup when authoritarian regime, long-standing authoritarian regimes are removed, but that is not in the case of the Gambia. When you look at the Gambia's security situation right now, we know that there is the presence of foreign forces in the country, specifically the economic. And at some point, when you randomly talk to some military officers, they will tell you that, well, the presence of foreign forces in the country, economic, is kind of, they take their responsibility from them. The security of this country is no more in the hands of our brothers and sisters in uniform. So the interest of the military could be seen to be at stake here. As a result, that could be a contributing factor. But also, if you look at the general socio-political environment, we don't only have economic hardship in this country, but also the deep social division existing, especially on tribal lines, is also a contributing factor. And of course, if you also look at the security situation, especially when this government came to power in 2017, they launched the security sector reform. And that reform has not registered significant progress since 2017. We only have policy documents being developed. So the reform process has not gone anywhere far that Gambians can say, well, the professionalism, the values and principles of democracy that should be instilled in the military so that they are subjected to civilian control, management, accountability.
Okay, just give me a moment. I'll come back to looking at the reforms. Quite a number to unpack from the plate now. Dr. Adetokunbo-Edmund, you're also following developments in the Gambia. What would you attribute to the latest failed coup?
Well, thank you, Salai. Actually, what happened is we have to look at the history of Mr. Jammeh leaving the country and Barrow coming in. So what actually happened then was there was a coalition of parties that formed to unseat Mr. Jammeh, who had been in power for about 22 years. But remember, there was this, everybody was talking about the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, TRRC. Mr. Barrow actually went back. They felt Gambians, a lot of Gambians feel betrayed right now because Jammeh did a lot of horrible things to Gambians while in power. In fact, some Ghanaians were killed. But all the things that the TRRC asked Mr. Barrow to do to make sure that Gambians get justice were never done. None of them was done. So it's like we're not sure who organized this coup. But you also have to remember that Mr. Barrow sacked his deputy president a few years ago. That's talking about the guy that brought him in, Osano Dabo. He was sacked in 2019 by Mr. Barrow just because he promised to do one term, but power was just too intoxicating for him, and he decided that he wanted to go for a second term. So he got out his deputy who brought him in. And we are not sure whether it's the United Democratic Party, under whose ticket Mr. Barrow contested the 2016 election, that organized this coup. Or maybe, remember, Senegal and Nigeria are involved in the Gambia. This military are there as well. So we are not sure. Could it be an international coup involving Senegal and Nigeria? Could it be something coming from the opposition party that got in there? And people felt betrayed when Mr. Barrow had to go and launch his own NPP party, that's the National People's Party. And besides, he went to dine with the enemy. He went to the APRC, that's Yahya Jammeh's old alliance for party reconstruction, APRC party. He went to join them to be able to get into power. But to be fair, I think he was just like trying to feather his own nest. He wanted to get to power at all costs, though Mr. Jammeh did not want to support him. So it's like it's a tale of betrayal. We're not sure who did it. Is it his old party, or is it an international coup involving the West African big brothers?
Well, I think, Dr. Adetokunbo, you've painted a big picture, asking the question, who done it? But again, you listening to both of you, Essay and Adetokunbo-Edmund, we're talking about a situation of failed reforms, failed promises to a people hoping to get some form of respite from an administration that was so backed by the people's power. Paint for us a picture here, Essay, looking at the history of the Gambia and, of course, what has gone down. Would you say the country can actually go past this without going the military way?
I mean, it's good that he's trying to paint a broader picture. The question of who is behind this coup, that's important also to talk about. Unconfirmed reports, although not from government, but confirmed reports are saying that it's in fact a Lance Corporal, which is so surprising, so strange, a Lance Corporal being the real leader of a coup. Someone who completed university just a few years ago is behind this coup. But he mentioning also, could it be internationally kind of motivated or influenced, or whether it's opposition? Recent developments have seen that on Saturday, just 72 hours ago, former President Jammeh spoke to his loyalists, his political stooges, when he told them that clearly that he will come back to this country and no one can stop him. He will come back and rule again. So just 72 hours after he made that statement, we had a failed coup in the Gambia. So that tells us, I mean, could it be that Jammeh has a hand in this coup? No one knows. But also, on the side of the opposition, the UDP, the campaign manager, recently elected campaign manager, that is Mamadou Sabali, is being arrested, taken to police, being questioned regarding a video that he made to say that President Barrow's government will be removed even before the local government elections in April and May 2023. So this begs question, but nothing is clear. The government only came out to confirm that 4 soldiers have been arrested and 3 are on the run, but they have not confirmed who is really behind this. They have not identified them. Unconfirmed reports are identifying the soldiers behind it. But I think with regards to where this is taking the Gambia to, for me, it's detrimental to the Gambia's fragile democracy. Our democracy needs to be matured, it needs to be consolidated, and military coups tend to revert us into autocracy.
Okay, let's see if we can actually wrap this. Apologies for butting in. Let's quickly wrap this up with Adetokunbo-Edmund. Listening to both of you, one key thing here has to do with what SA is saying, that Africa's democracy needs to go past military incursion. If the people are aggrieved or badly disturbed, there are better ways in a democratic system to pursue this. Now, paint for us, what future do you see for the Gambia going forward, looking at the alliance or otherwise of Jammeh and the man on the job at the moment, Adama Barrow?
Oh, well, it becomes very complex because remember, Gambians feel betrayed. So it's like we don't even actually know who was behind this coup. Because people should also realize that the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Foreign Minister, the Minister of Petroleum and Energy, also the Minister for Religious Affairs in the country, Defense Minister, Information Minister, all came from Jammeh's party. So it's like if Jammeh wants to come back, it's very easy for him. But Adama Barrow made a mistake of bringing all these people in, all in the name of reconciliation. How do you get justice for Gambians when the man who orchestrated all this is still in Equatorial Guinea? And the spirit of Jammeh is still hovering over that country. Jammeh has to first be brought to justice before there can be peace in the Gambia. There are still stooges in government, and they are running this government. And then remember, this man, the current president, also betrayed his former party. So there is so much chaos in the Gambia. So there won't be peace until we all come together, all these people all come together and try to work together. Because coups will continue to happen, especially in small West African countries.
All right, yeah, I think it's a good place for us to leave it. I hope we stay on this. And many thanks, Adetokunbo-Edmund and Njie. Many thanks for speaking with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, stay.